lizard was gone. That's when I set the hook.
This week on Kentucky Afield, a 35-year-old record has fallen, and we're in the hills of Harlan County, hearing the story from the man who broke it.
It won't keep me from fishing. It won't keep me from fishing.
If you love to fish, you love to fish.
Next, everyone knows that fishing does the mind and body good.
Rolling water, it just has a very calming effect.
But find out how some men are putting it to the utmost use. Then, do you need somewhere to fish? FINS Lakes provide some of the best opportunities. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Such a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb floated with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl.
Yeah, boy. That's a big rabbit.
Nice job. Yes! Yes! My first muskie. Mercy Leo!
Yeah, look at it. It's a keeper.
Here it goes. Boom!
Wow, that happened fast.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. And this week's adventure comes straight from Harlan County as a 35-year-old record for largemouth bass has been broken. Let's go talk to the man who caught it. So Mark, for 35 years, people have been chasing the record, the state record largemouth bass, which is caught at Woods Creek Lake. And you broke it last week.
I know it's 35 years. I've only been alive for 24. I'm pretty fairly young. I never thought that I would ever do it.
You know, and the interesting thing is the largemouth bass is probably the most sought after sport fish, freshwater fish, in the United States. Millions and millions of dollars are spent, billions of dollars are spent trying to catch them. And you come out here in your local community lake, this is open to the public, and you catch a fish that weighed what?
14.9 pounds.
14.9 pounds. Now, for a person who says, hey, I caught a 14-pound fish in the state of Kentucky, that is astronomical. And then to hear that you've actually caught a couple fish that were fairly close to this in the past, out of this same body of water.
Mm-hmm. The one that I caught last year was a 13.8. People claim that it's the same fish from last year. Whether if it is, I don't know.
So you caught a 13-pound, 8-ounce fish.
Mm-hmm.
And took it and then released it back into the lake.
Yeah.
Did you weigh that fish? I mean, did you, on a certified scale, did you know how close you were to the state record then?
It was on a digital scale. Once I weighed it and went online and seen what it was, I was fairly close.
Okay. You decided out, I'm just gonna turn this thing loose, and you know, you're a hunter as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can't kill a 4-year-old deer if you shoot a 3-year-old deer, right?
Yeah.
Kind of works with fishing the same way. You caught a trophy fish by anyone's standards. Any location, doesn't matter where you caught it, I don't care if it's Texas, Mexico, wherever. You released it, and lo and behold, you come back the next year and catch a bigger fish, and now you have this current state record.
Yeah, it's something else. I said, I never thought that I would, but I'm like any other fisherman out there who just loves the fish.
So, take me through the day you catch the fish. It was Good Friday, right?
Yeah, it was Good Friday.
You came down here with your wife and you got a 9-month baby,
Yeah.
right? And you walked down over the bank, right here by the fishing pier, and tell me what happened.
I had just got off work, and I walked up to the bank, and I seen one that was fairly decent. No, that's a decent sized fish. I mean, it's about 4.5, 5 pounds. And once I walked up to the bank, it was the first cast. I fished it out, and then once I brung it in, it nosed down on it. And before it could pick it up and it got too close, the 14.9 pounders, it came in from the deep, and it looked like a big log.
So you walk in here, you see a fish, you're like, wow, that's a big enough fish to at least, you're not gonna walk past it without making a cast. I'm gonna try to catch this fish. And you flip out there, and it comes up and shows some interest, and then all of a sudden, bam,
Yeah.
something much, much bigger comes in and just takes it.
It surprised me. It
So
did.
when it came up and initially hit it, did you know immediately that it was gonna take it? Did you immediately set the hook, or did you wait for your line to run? How did that work out?
Once it picked it up, and the lizard was gone. That's when I set the hook.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it just take off running,
Oh,
run you
yeah.
back out.
It shook one time, and back to the deep it went, and then it was about a 5-minute fight from there.
Once you got it up, you know, the banks are a little bit slick. You couldn't go in. You kind of had to drag it up close enough to worry about breaking your line and get a hand on it. Once you got a hand on it, did you know immediately, hey, I got a chance here for the state record?
The one I caught last year was fairly decent, but the one I caught this year, from pictures don't do justice.
I like how you
person.
call your 13-pound, 8-ounce fish fairly decent. That tells you what your expectations are. You are a trophy fisherman. You're targeting big fish. Because you said, yeah, I caught a fairly decent one last year. It was 13 pounds. That's a huge fish. And now you come out here and you best it. You catch a 14-pounder. You're looking at it and you're like, oh my gosh, man, this thing's got a chance. This thing may be big enough. What'd you do then?
Once I weighed it on the scale that I have, I told Sherman, my brother, I was like, I'm gonna have to turn it in. I'm gonna have to.
Because you've always put your fish back. You put 13-pounders back, but in this situation, you're like, we gotta at least get this one certified. See what we got, right? So you told me one point in time you put it on a stringer, and you were leaving the fish in the water, waiting for someone to show up to verify it.
Yeah.
And what happened?
When I went to show Shane
Amberg is your local conservation officer.
Yeah. I pulled it up out of the water to show him, because they say fish is bigger out of the water. Once I looked down, the stringer was actually unhooked. It was actually unhooked. And my heart dropped, and Shane he said, no, you don't have to do that, put it back. And then once he realized that I was hooking the stringer back, he said, oh.
You do need to clasp the stringer.
Yeah.
Man. Well, I'll tell you what, this is a beautiful body of water, and it does hold some really, really big fish. But for someone who fishes in and around a community and there's a FINS lake there that they're stocking trout in, and they go out and they see 60, 70, 80 people sitting around the banks fishing it, and they think, oh, there's no good fish in here. What do you have to say to those people?
I've actually heard a lot of that. I mean, you know, people come up here and fish and not catch a thing. They see what I caught, and they just don't believe it.
These type of lakes are perfect because if you say you just got off work, you got 2 hours or 3 hours to kill, bring the family along, run out here, you don't have to mess with the boat, and bam, land a state record.
You'll never know what you catch on that first catch.
First cast of the day. You know, they always say that if you catch a fish on your very first cast, that people say it's bad luck. I wouldn't count this one bad luck. And interestingly enough, the fish that you were watching there, what you thought was 4 or 5 pounds, you ended up catching it too, didn't you?
Yeah, I ended up catching it too, yeah.
So you knew about what that fish ended up weighing, and that was the fish that made you cast there. So he's got to take a little bit of the credit. That 4-pounder's got to take a little bit of the credit because you may not have casted right there had not been sitting there. Catching a state record like that, does it make you think, well, there's no reason to go do it again, I've already got a state record?
Oh, it won't keep me from fishing. It won't keep me from fishing.
You know, if you love to fish, you love to fish. So the state record or not, it's not going to change you. You're going to get out here and keep catching fish, and it's going to take a long time to break this. Yeah, 35 years and you beat it by almost a full pound. So I think this record's going to be around for a while. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm here again with our conservation officer, Lieutenant McQuarrie. How you doing?
Great, good to see you again, Chad.
Hey, summer's almost here, and finally it's time to get those boats out. But there's a couple of things that boaters need to remember prior to putting that boat on the water.
You're exactly right. You need to make sure that you have your current registration year decal applied to your boat. What we see a lot of times is people have actually purchased their current registration, but they forget to put it on. And also do that pre-season boat inspection check to make sure you have all your required safety equipment.
And a couple of things that you might really want to look is, you know, maybe someone's taken one of those life jackets out and used it at a pool or done whatever. Make sure that they get back in the boat. And what's the other thing?
Make sure you check the fire extinguisher. They can literally go bad from day to day, especially if they've been sitting in a barn or in a garage all winter long. So make sure you check to see that it's serviceable.
And then as far as life jacket restrictions,
you're required to have a life jacket on your boat for every person you have aboard. And also make sure all children under the age of 12 are wearing a life jacket when the boat is underway.
And then if you have it inflatable, it only counts if you're wearing it, right?
You must have it on for it to count.
Well, thanks again for coming in and seeing us today. Let's hope everyone has a safe summer on the water.
Thank you.
Let's find out how some men are using the outdoors to help battle cancer.
My family doctor, just through a normal checkup, found just a slight elevation in my PSA. And he suggested I go to a urologist. He checked it again. They did the biopsy and all the tests. I think it's called like a punch biopsy. They take a bunch of samples. Out of all the samples, one came back cancerous.
Oh, wow.
And that's when they put me in and we started doing the radiation treatment. I had other options, but I opted for the radiation.
Yeah.
Rather than surgery.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Man, that is fantastic. We're here for a really unique reason today. There are a million programs out there to help women deal with different forms of cancer, but for whatever reason, we don't seem to have as many programs for men battling cancer. But you're a coordinator with an organization that tries to get men on the water. Tell me a little bit about it. It's called Real Recovery.
Real Recovery is a retreat for men who are dealing with cancer, who are in remission, or who have been declared cancer-free.
And you try to get them outdoors to communicate with one another, try to share their experiences as they battle cancer or as they've battled cancer, and you reconnect them to the outdoors. It gives them a place and a way to get out and just get away from all the stresses of life and healing. So Donald, you actually attended a session last year of Real Recovery.
Yes, I did.
What did you find most beneficial about attending a Real Recovery program?
The camaraderie with the other men.
Yeah. A lot of times men don't want to talk about issues like that, do they?
Probably not. Me, it doesn't bother me one way or the other.
But when you got around a lot of people that were dealing with the exact same thing you were dealing with, it became,
quite a few of them were a lot more serious than what I had.
Have you recommended Real Recovery to anyone else you know that has been battling cancer?
Anytime I've been with people, we'd start talking about fishing and, my cancer. I'm a proud supporter of Real Recovery. Tell them about it and tell them if they have any friends that have got cancer, call them up. Contact Real Recovery.
This is an all-around win-win for the men. They enjoy it. They enjoy it tremendously.
You don't have to be involved in fishing, fly fishing. So I'm sure some people come in to this program that are experienced fishermen. Some of them may have never fished before. It doesn't matter, right?
Very true, very true. There are some that have never fished before. We also bring in volunteers from some of the fly fishing clubs to work with them on a one-on-one basis, learning their new sport of fly fishing.
It's the weird thing, human nature. When times get rough, sometimes we become more reclusive, sometimes we kind of shy away, but to put yourself in a situation where you can spend some time with people that are dealing with the same thing you're dealing with, and also get yourself out of the house, away from the TV, out in this type of atmosphere. Let me tell you what, I'm not an advocate to think this can cure cancer, but it may make you stronger and it may make your will to fight a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
To be outside and enjoying life a little bit has to be beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
For me, there's nothing more relaxing than time in a deer stand, fishing a pond, but there's something about moving water that's even more calming. For whatever reason, it just seems like the beauty of being out here and listening to the rolling water, it just has a very calming effect. Here we go. Here we go. I saw a fish about this size flash in there. Or he actually came up and flashed, and lo and behold, I think I got him. Now this is a brown, isn't it? Pretty nice fish, probably in about the 14-inch range, somewhere about that size. Look at that, beautiful fish. Right here in that little pocket on the other side of that rock. Maybe the absolute best way I know to get out and release some stress and clear your mind is to go out and get in a stream. You don't even have to fish. I enjoy fishing, obviously, but just flipping rocks and kind of looking and seeing what all's around, nothing better for me. Are you looking for a place to go fishing? It may be closer than you think. Go to the Department of Fish and Wildlife's website and check FINS lakes. Well, Dane, you brought me out here in northern Kentucky. Today we're in Campbell County, and you're showing me one of our FINS lakes.
We've got 44 lakes in 28 counties around the state enrolled in the FINS, which is our Fishing in Neighborhoods program.
So, and the whole idea here is to just put fish and fishing opportunities closer to fishing men and women, correct?
Yeah, so we've done surveys in the past. The biggest barriers to fishing are time. People just don't have enough time to go, and they don't have a place to go. So providing opportunities close to where people live, and it doesn't take a long time to get there, and they can fish for an hour or two in the evenings after work or on the weekends and don't have to spend a lot of money.
We got here a little early, and the fish stocking was actually taking place today. And oh my gosh, I believe the fishing's probably good now.
Yeah, there's a lot of fish. We stock over 120,000 catfish in the FINS program. We stock about 120,000 trout as well in the winter. Great fishing opportunities, and these are keeper-sized fish. They're not little fingerling fish.
The truck was still running and shooting fish out, and we already saw a woman catch one over 3 pounds. So.
Yeah.
All right, I probably took about 8 pictures.
We do spring electrofishing for bass and bluegill. We don't stock those a whole lot, but we sample those to make sure the population is self-sustaining, and yeah, there's some big bluegill and big bass in some of these lakes as well.
So you're talking trout, catfish, bluegill. Really, this isn't a seasonal thing. You could fish here 12 months out of the year.
That's the plan of the program, is to provide a year-round fishery. So yeah, great places to fish any time of the year.
We're seeing a lot of families out here. I can't imagine a better situation where if a kid has some interest in getting into fishing, the resources are right there at the end of your fingertips. If you got a computer, a cell phone, whatever, you can go on there, find out what's allowed at 44 different lakes, and also you put when you're going to stock the fish in here, what you're bringing, right?
Yeah, so again, if you go to fw.ky.gov and search for FINS or look for the FINS program, we put that stocking schedule up there. Usually about a week or two before fish go in, we put the exact stocking day. We put directions. We have an interactive map of the FINS program so they can click if they don't know where these lakes are at. It's got the regulations, how many fish you can keep. We've also got a basics on what you need to get set up to go fishing. So all the information is only a click away.
You know what I'd like to do? I think let's go out here and find us a family or a kid or two, and I got some bait, brought a couple rod and reels. Let's go see if we can have them catch a fish or two. What do you think? That's kind of what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
It's introducing people into fishing. A kid's out here trying to catch a fish. We'll see if we can't maybe make it easier for them.
That sounds like a plan. I believe that one's on there.
We came over here hoping to attract the kid to come by and try to catch fish, and literally before we've got 3 poles out, you've already got one.
Yep, I think they're hungry and willing to bite. What would you say?
I think so. Maybe we can get a kid over here to reel this fish in. What's your name?
Easton.
Easton. Guess what? I got a son, and his name is Leo Easton. What do you think about that?
You want to reel this one in?
You want to try to catch a fish? I wish you'd have hit the pole that wasn't pink. I brought one pink one and one black one.
There you go. Get him, son. You got him? What is it?
You got him?
Is it a catfish or a bluegill? What is that?
A catfish.
Good job.
Nice
You know what you're
job.
talking about.
That's a great job.
That's a good-looking catfish, too.
We're gonna put him back in. If you'll just grab my hand and push my hand, and you know what? We're gonna tell him to get bigger, because you fish here a lot, don't you? And one of these days, if you put this fish back in, one of these days you might catch him and he'll be even bigger. What do you think? Push my hand out there and we'll...
There you go, Chad.
Nice job. Wait a minute, you got another one. Come on.
Go, Easton.
I was going to let it sit.
All right.
Is it on there? Here you go. Here you go. Show me one more time how you do that.
Is it a bluegill or a catfish?
Man. Hey, you're a pretty good fisherman. It's pretty obvious. We've been here for 10 seconds and you've already caught 2. What kind of fish is that?
A little catfish.
A catfish.
It's a baby one.
That is a baby one. You seem like a pretty smart fella.
Be big. You might catch the grandpa this time, Easton.
There you go. There you go.
Here, Easton.
Give it a good pull. Pull it up over your head.
You got that one. Man, look at that pole's bend.
Look at that. Woohoo!
Is there a fish on there?
Yeah, there is.
You're doing a great job. Look at that.
It's got the biggest catfish lines on it.
Biggest, what are these called?
Lines.
What lines? What are these called when you're seeing an old man with big long hair right there? What's these called?
Mustaches.
It is. That's right. These are whiskers. Looks like a mustache, doesn't it? What kind of catfish is that, you know?
A big one.
You're exactly right, it is a big one. You want to keep this one, or do you want to turn him loose and catch him when he gets bigger? Huh?
Dad can have it.
Oh,
Dad can have him?
You want your daddy to have him?
Okay.
You know, I think it's okay to keep one or two every now and then. That's what they're in here for.
You don't eat it with me tonight?
You don't eat fish?
Yeah.
I eat the one with crust on it.
Oh, yeah, battered. Yeah, hey, I get it. I understand that. You can put a little crust on it, it'll be good to go. You ready to catch another one, maybe? Let's see. Ready? Jerk it. You got him. You got him. You got him. Don't tell me this one's bigger than the last one. I think the last one was maybe the biggest one of all time. Look at that big catfish you got. Look at that, listen to that drag going. You're holding it high, you're doing right. There you go, keep on reeling. You got him. Get that rod tip up in the air a little bit.
Get it up in there.
Little bit, there you go. Here we go. This one's bigger than the last one, Easton. I heard a guy one time, he told me a fish story. He said, I caught a fish as big as my leg, as long as my leg. Well, guess what? Yours is longer than your leg. Nice job. That's not a fishing story, that's truth. You tell people, say, I caught a fish as long as my leg. And you just did it. Nice job, buddy. Gotta make you feel kind of good. You know, this is your project, this is what you work on. You see people out here saying, this is unbelievable, this is great, this is awesome. Yeah, it makes you feel kind of good when you come out and see families act like that, huh?
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
When they see you come out looking at a body of water or a fish truck pull up, you know what, it's got to make them smile.
Yeah, they enjoy seeing that fish truck come, and it's good for us. I mean, that's what the department's about, is getting people out and getting them fishing.
Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Check out this full-grown crappie caught at Kincaid Lake by Johnny Ashcroft. Man, that's a good crappie. Now, Casson Bertram knows how to spend a nice warm day. That's catching crappie at his papaw's farm pond. Nice job. Here we have Jason Vickers with a nice non-typical deer taken with his bow and arrow in Jessamine County. Nice job. Here we have 6-year-old Grayson from Tomahawk, Kentucky, who took this nice gray squirrel. Here is a really nice Green River Lake bass caught by Levi. Nice job. Tim Blair got this nice gobbler that had 3 beards, all 10 inches long in Hardin County. Congratulations. Check out this nice striper caught by Rick Cates. He caught this while fishing in the Cumberland River. Check out this beautiful gobbler. It weighed over 24 pounds. It was taken by Eldon Stennett of Frankfort, Kentucky. This turkey was taken in Owen County. Nice job. 11-year-old Mason Stamper caught this beautiful muskie, his first one ever, that was 43 inches long. This fish was caught in the Kentucky River. Nice job. Here we have a really nice sauger that was caught by Greg Shanks while fishing Elkhorn Creek. Nice job. Check out this huge bluegill caught by Grayson Foster in Shelby County. Grayson's 5 years old and he's been fishing since he was 2. Nice job. Here we have Carly Larkins with her very first fish ever. She asked her brother to help her hold it. Nice job. Man, here's a nice largemouth caught by Bodie Chalk in a private pond in J-Town, Kentucky. Here we have Jason Harlow with a nice public land deer taken in Owen County. Here we have Caleb Gorell with his first Drake mallard from Henderson County. Nice job. Many fish are spawning here in Kentucky, and that could be a great time to introduce a new fisherman to fishing. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.
Dear Mom, I know a secret. You're a kid too. Salado is open and open for fun. We can go see deer, wink at wildcats, and giggle at that big black bear. You know he's your favorite. There's enormous elk, awesome aquariums, and we can even take a picnic lunch. And if you're really good, I'll let you take me back again.
The Salado Wildlife Education Center in Frankfort. Come prowl a while.